back, AHS. I'm Angie Silva.
And I'm Kendall Bueno.
And this is
The Rez.
Do you know what I wonder about, Kendall?
What?
What other people think we do here in Rez?
You know what? Me too. All the planning, procrastinating, sitting on the
Shh, Neary's watching.
Oh yeah, my bad. I mean editing, gathering our talent, and helping each other with segments and stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot better. And on top of that, the kinds of hoops we have to jump through to film segments, like right now.
Hey, Bridget.
Bridget is our director for today. She tells us when we mess up, runs the teleprompter, the thing we're reading off of right now, and to V up.
And now here's a clip of us setting up to film anchors today.
Hi, my name's Bridget. I'm part of Rez, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how we set up for anchors. So there isn't really a particular step-by-step way that we do this. Like, we can set up the lights first, or we can set them up last. Doesn't really matter how we do it. So today we're going to start off with the lights. Okay, so now since we have the lights done, we could probably start working on the JVC over here. The JVC is what we use to film anchors with. Now, some people like to use both the JVC and the C100 so that we can get both the 4 shots and the 2 shots done all at the same time. Basically, the 4 shots is just when all 4 anchors are here and they're talking, so whenever they're changing to sports, they're A-walking, or it's the very beginning of the episode, or it's the very end of the episode. 2 shots is whenever you just have anchor 1 and anchor 2, or anchor 1 and anchor 2. They flip-flop sometimes. We're not going to use the C100, we're just going to use the JVC. And as you can tell, it's a little wonky right now, so we're probably going to have to fix that. So how we see if this is level, there is a level thing right here. And it's a little bubble that's basically just going to tell us if it's too far, this way, that way, back there. That's it. Done.
Here's some highlights of college night last week.
Last Monday, there was a college night here at AHS. Many organizations and colleges visited to inform students about different majors, scholarships, opportunities, and higher levels of education they may want to pursue. If you missed this year's college night, but feel like college or the military might be in your future, make sure to attend the next one.
That sure was information.
Yep, but not as information as our fellow students. Hey Mackenzie, didn't you ask this week's A-walking question?
Yeah. This week, I went around asking you if you could choose any Rez episode theme, what would it be? Here's what you had to say.
A Vine-themed episode.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Halloween.
Football.
Fortnite.
If I could choose any Rez theme, I would choose Fringe episode 2017 as a theme for another episode.
少年よ神話になる
Toes cold. Saturday Night Live.
Zombie apocalypse, because it's scary.
Black people.
Back to the Future themed Rez episode.
Why don't we do an offensive takeover?
Boy, I would love to have a spooky season back because it's November and it's and you know.
Those were some interesting answers. If I could choose any theme, it would be Five Nights at Freddy's. Now back to you guys.
You know what my favorite thing to do in Rez is?
No, what is it?
Being able to film our amazing athletes at their games, matches, meets, and competitions.
That is pretty great.
Hey, Cade, how are Indian athletes doing?
Let's find out in this week's Rez Sports.
He may be the greatest athlete of all time.
Alvarado with a nice win!
There is mustard on the lettuce.
Last week, football had a game against William Hutchinson. Sadly, we lost 35-41. Let's see some highlights of that.
Stronger. More than power, never. Ever after work is over. Work it, make it, do it, make sense.
This week we have a game against Pinkston. Good luck, boys. Volleyball had a game against Whitney. We lost 3-0. Let's see some highlights of that. Now it's time for this week's Real Students with Spirit.
The Rez presents Real Students with Spirits.
Real Students with Spirit.
Today we salute you who bleed purple and live gold.
Dripping purple pride through their pores.
Proclaiming to all, fear the spear. Go fight, win.
Go big,
Here are the faces from our Indian nation.
Look at those excited people.
Because we are Alvarado.
Indians forever.
Now that's all for this week's Rez Sports. Now back to you guys.
I heard that a lot of people don't like it.
Really? I love Indian interview time. I would say getting the talent is pretty hard, though.
Yeah, I've lost mine before and had to start all over again.
Hopefully this week that didn't happen.
Well, we're about to find out. Here's it.
They were singing, my, it's Indian interview time, where we interview some Indians and have a good time. So sit back and watch this interview time, 'cause it's Indian interview time, Indian interview time.
Welcome back, AHS. I'm Corey Bewley, and over here I'm interviewing Ryan Roberts. How you doing, Ryan?
Doing good. I had to drive a long time to get here, but here I am.
Well, when did you join the Rez?
I started my sophomore year, which was like 2015, I think. And so yeah, I did that all the way till my senior year, and I graduated and left.
So what's probably like the greatest thing you've done in the Rez, the most memorable thing?
Honestly, probably when we went to Florida for nationals to TSA. I want to say that was my junior year we did that. It may have been my senior year. I don't know. So yeah, we were me and my group did the video on demand, and then we placed very high and went to Florida on the gracious dime of the school district.
So whenever you were here in the Rez, did anything really change or did it just stay the same?
I mean, it was jarring. Like for my first year, it was you do everything this way. And then the people that had been in the Rez for 3 years before were gone, and it was mostly us. Well, this is my junior year, so it was just mostly us juniors. There weren't really any seniors that year, and so we did pretty much everything differently. That was the year a lot of stuff started changing. Specifically, it's not really specific. The way we did everything changed. There's really more things that changed than I can count. I don't know. I mean, even now, from the time that I've been gone to now, I can tell that things have changed. Just, it's not one specific thing, really. It's different people do things differently. It's just hard to explain.
So, do you think things are going to continue to change, or kind of just?
Yeah, definitely. As people move on and new people come in, that stuff always changes. I can remember specifically my freshman year sitting in Neary's Principles of AV class watching the Rez people do their thing. Just by the time that I got there the next year, some of those people had left, and then there was a bunch of new people. I don't know. A trend that I've seen as time goes by is it gets more... It's less of like a news broadcast, because if you look at it my freshman year, which was like 2015, I think, I don't remember, it was very much like a news broadcast. There wasn't much fun stuff. There was some fun stuff, but it was mostly like, here is what football did, and this happened also. Here's one fun thing followed by other boring things. Not really boring, but you know what I mean. And then whenever we came in, that was when we started, I don't know, it was the same segments, but we just did them differently, and it was more exciting and more, I don't know, I guess just, entertaining. And so that's a trend that I've project to continue from here on.
Here in the Rez, obviously, there's Mr. Neary. What are your thoughts on him?
Can you elaborate?
All right, so do you enjoy being around Mr. Neary?
I mean, yeah. He's a nice dude. He drove me crazy when I was in the Rez, but now that I'm gone, it's like, oh, there's Neary. I'm gonna go bother him, I'll forever have the sound of him yelling my name burned into my long-term memory. I'll say that much.
So I was told about this horn you had at one point. What happened to it?
Well, there were two horns. First one I made with a funnel and a PVC pipe from Home Depot, and electrical tape, and wonderful Mr. Neary broke it by throwing it off the back of some bleachers in the gym because it was really loud, and he hates things that are fun. So I made another one, and he realized that there was no winning. So that one is probably in a storage unit in Burleson right now.
I think that's all the time we have for this week's Indian Interview Time. It's been Ryan Roberts, and I'll see y'all next time.
You know what else I like?
What?
Masterpiece Theater.
Masterpiece Theater presents Insightful Interns, where the interns are somehow insightful.
Hi, I'm Angie, and we're the Interns. This is how we think Masterpiece is edited.
You have to cut it up a few in order to actually make it a full film.
Hi, I'm Gabe, and I'm an intern in the Rez. And the way that I think that Masterpiece is done is that you take the clips you recorded previously and you put them into a program or the computer for a program known as Adobe Premiere. And you edit those together by nesting or cutting them out as you need. And then you just simply add your own transitions or animations whenever needed to make it more nice and smooth, as far as I know.
Hi, my name is Kendall and I'm an intern for the Rez, and I think Masterpieces Edited, they just get all the clips, put them into the computer thingy, and edit them together, and then with the green screen put a picture there. There's some kind of technology behind that that I'm not sure of, but it exists. And that's it.
And then you nest them all together and you cut off the pieces that you don't need.
And you make transitions for them.
Hi, I'm Angie, I'm an intern, and today I'm going to be telling you how I think Masterpiece is edited. I think that they take the footage from the 3 cameras, 2. They take the footage from the 2 cameras and they put it all into the Premiere, and then they push them all together and then cut them. And then they just like have a video, and that's how that works.
Hi, I'm Ryan and I'm an intern in the Rez, and Masterpiece editing, it's a little bit complicated and I can't explain it because I haven't even done it yet. But there's 2 cameras and you have to take the clips from those, and before you film you have to clap so you can line those 2 clips up, and then something with multicam, and you have a video, I think. I think Andy's was better with the fairy. The Rez fairy comes in and edits the videos for you. I don't know if mine or hers is better, but hers might be better with the Rez fairy. I think that's actually how it goes. The Rez fairy comes in. By Rez fairy we mean Neary, and he edits the clips for you. That's how Masterpiece is edited. I didn't know what to say.
Eventually you throw a picture in there to make it look nice.
Hello, I am Cade, and I have a headache right now. And Masterpiece, believe it or not, has to be edited. And how you do that is you first grab the clips that you recorded previously in this very room. And then you line them up, and then you cut some stuff up, you do some multi-camera things, and then bada bing, bada boom comes Masterpiece.
And then you have Masterpiece. That's it.
These have been the Insightful Interns. See you next time.
And this is how Masterpiece is actually filmed.
I can't count the amount of times we've used the wrong wig graphic.
Oh gosh, don't get me started.
Wig.
Good afternoon, AHS. Since we're doing Behind the Rez this week, I thought we would come back in the back room and do a little bit of Behind the Library. Back here in the back rooms, we have all, of course, the VCR tapes that we don't really use, but for special occasions, there are things that we need, so we go ahead and keep them. Also, the trusty laminators back here. I know that's a big draw for some of the teachers and students as well when it comes to projects. While we're back here, we need to talk about passes. We do not give passes during lunch. Once you're in the cafeteria, you need to stay in the cafeteria. The cafeteria ladies have worked really hard to create a great meal for you, and we want you to enjoy it with your friends in the cafeteria. Also, we do have passes. These passes are to be used in between classes, or if you need to come into the library in the morning to study, read, print out a paper, you need what Anaya has in her hand. You need a laminated pass. So you need to kind of think ahead. And if you're going to come into the library in the morning, come the day before or come during passing period, not during class, and get your pass so we can go ahead and take care of that. Again, we don't give library lunch passes just simply because we need you to stay in the cafeteria. Now, as we go further back into the library, I wanted to show you this very back room. We keep magazines. We always try to keep Time and National Geographic. If American Library Association, and if we follow those standards, we have to keep those for up to 5 years. But I'm back here to show you our extra books. Now, of course, it seems silly that a library has extra books, but what we use these books for is to make sure the little free library that we built at the Parkway Park, we try to make sure that we always have books available to go into that little free library. So back here in the very back room, we have those books. So if you have any questions or you'd like to donate any books, drop them off. And then, of course, always ask Miss Gilbert or I if we can help in any way. Thanks, AHS. Have a great day.
I don't think any of the segments could compare to Shen, though.
Oh yeah, isn't it the time in which we highlight the skilled,
The funny,
the silly,
and the talented.
It's time for this week's
Shenanigans.
How do you feel about your fellow Rez members?
They're all great at what they do, all of them.
I'm fine with all the other Rez members. They're all hard workers. They actually try doing their best.
There's no Rez members that I particularly dislike, but there's also only a few that I particularly am fond of.
I think most of them, those two don't seem to really want to be serious a lot of times. Kind of makes me a little angry when we're trying to film things.
I enjoy most of them, but I don't really hang out with them a lot. I hang out with Devin and Zach outside of school, but other than that, they're pretty much just, we have fun in the Rez, and that's about it.
I really like a lot of them. They get their work done, and at the same exact time, we're having a lot of fun a lot of the time.
There can be times where we're not all together, but I still love them, and I would fight for every single one. I enjoy being around the other Rez members. I think that it's kind of like a family. We all really understand each other.
Everyone can get a little overbearing at times, and we're all very passionate about what we do. And we all just want what's best for the Rez.
I don't have fellow Rez members. I'm the Rez teacher.
What do you think Neary does on his free time?
He probably just looks at his fish.
I can't say that on camera.
Neary, he's pretty open with us. He tells us a lot of things, but I mean, of course he keeps most of his personal life personal, but he tells us about his fish. He goes home 4 a.m. every day. His fish.
I think Neary fish. He does a lot of things with fish.
This girl just dipped on his date.
I think Neary secretly plays Undertale in his free time.
You asked this question to everybody? Why?
I think
Things that I do on my free time, I like to jog. I jog quite a bit. Go to church.
What has been your favorite episode from this year or other past year?
I think Fringe is usually just a good episode.
None of them. Actually, wait, Cheeseburger.
True.
It's Fringe of 2017.
Even though it was probably the worst episode we have ever made, was the Drumline Takeover.
Cheeseburger episode.
My favorite episode is probably the Halloween episode. What segment is your favorite to do?
Shen.
Why?
Because you can do whatever you want.
I like doing Indian interview time a lot.
Probably A-walking because it's easy to do. I'm not funny.
Indian interview time or Shenanigans, because on Shenanigans you just get to get a good old goof.
My favorite segment to do is probably Masterpiece, because with Masterpiece you have the arms.
Probably Anchors, because there's a lot of
arms.
I haven't been able to do Shin yet, but it looks like it'd be a lot of fun. So I think that would be my favorite because the members get really creative.
I don't really have a favorite segment. I like to edit all of them. I hate editing Masterpiece. I'm just gonna say that. I'm the worst at it.
My favorite segment to do is probably Anchors overall.
Fork Knife is just a lame version of PUBG. So I don't know why people mess around with Fork Knife. They could be playing PUBG or Halo. Call of Duty just came out.
What does TSA stand for? Only wrong answers.
Teens splurging on apples, I think.
Zacy sucks at res.
Spliff.
Timbo spins actively.
Turtles slurping chug jugs.
Toddlers singing anthem.
Turtle shell. Awful.
Texas.
Truly am monkey.
The secret agenda.
A good episode that I feel Neary would say no to would be a Neary takeover episode.
I think we should do a Spider-Man episode, and the whole thing we do is just trash talk Spider-Man in front of Neary the whole time.
I would do a Landon episode, but Neary would say no to that.
Toes cold. 100% toes cold.
I would want to do a TikTok episode.
Cold toes.
A vor episode.
I think it'd be really cool to do an aquarium episode, like fish. What is my deal with fish? Now, this is something I've thought about quite a bit actually. Fish, bird, dog, and cat, hamsters, mice, cockroaches. You fish.
And now it's time for our sponsors.
Here's Classic Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC of Cleburne.
Dad, I think she wants us to follow her. Classic Zoe.
Classic Chevrolet Buick GMC of Cleburne. Relax and enjoy the difference. Zoe can show you the way.
And now for Tribal Tees.
For all your shirts,
hoodies,
senior pictures,
and graphic design needs.
see Tribal Tees.
Come join the tribe.
And now for general announcements.
Remember to get your parking sticker as you can't park here without one.
Don't forget to study for your SAT, and good luck.
Oh, and keep in mind, you can wear your hats this Friday because it's this week's pep rally theme.
Well, that's all for this week, AHS. Keep that purple pride alive, and until next time, I'm Angie Silva.
And I'm Kendall Bueno.
And this has been
The Rez.
You can't win a point fight with me.
You put the 5 Gs together. I'm not a real student. You are.
Thanks. But you don't use your brain to catch things.
Zach, be quiet.
So I'm going to be showing you how we set up to go to the sports event.
Wait a minute, excuse me?
Okay, let's restart that.
I need a burp. That was just one. Like, I almost did.
I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Corey Buellen over here,
I'm about to do it better than you, and I haven't done it in, what, 3 years?
I'm your grandpa. Yeah, this is your dad. I'm grandpa, and since you're his kid. I am grandpa Zach.
Imagine being